Welcome, everyone. This is episode 16 of the Camera Stew podcast.
I'm Dr. Dan.
I'm Paul.
And I'm Tim. This episode's guest is photographer Jarmo Pohjaniemi. His first taste of a professional career was in front of the camera, and for the next 15 years, Jarmo traveled the world. As life changes, major fashion photographer Bruce Weber became the catalyst that brought Jarmo to the other side of the camera. Once behind the lens, he stayed there, making steady progress until he took a giant leap by calling up a Playboy photo editor with an ambitious proposal. The photo editor laid down a challenge, Jarmo accepted, and the rest is history. After years of countless covers, pictorials, and Playmate shoots, Jarmo decided to focus on teaching other photographers. He contacted his colleagues and shared his idea. They were all excited to help bring this educational opportunity to the photographic community. Through seminars, webinars, workshops, and tutorials, Shoot The Centerfold was born.
We are recording live during one of these very seminars. Bear with us. There is some background noise from the instructors and the students. If you go to our YouTube channel, you can see some of the behind the scenes while we're talking away with our guests. If you haven't attended one of the Shoot the Centerfold seminars, this is a must-see event. You will receive world-class instruction from the industry's leading photographers in fashion and glamour photography.
Sponsors for this show are Lightwear, maker of the finest photography equipment cases on the planet, the choice for some of the world's top professional photographers. You can see a full range of their products on lightwearinc.com. And Foursquare, the innovative, lightweight, modular softboxes and light modifiers for use with speed lights and full-size strobe heads. The Foursquare block can be adapted to just about any speed light currently being made. And Dr. Dan's highlight discs. They give a big studio strobe a very unique and precise highlighting effect. Both of these products are available exclusively at lightweardirect.com. Thanks for listening, and I hope you enjoy this episode of Camera Stew.
And here we are.
Well, hello there.
Hello there.
Well, hello
How
there.
are you?
I am excellent. I am having a lifetime experience that will last a lifetime.
Yes.
Been shooting some pictures here today and looking at some beautiful models
Oh, very
and
beautiful.
lots of exciting attendees
Yes.
who has come and joined us for the Shoot The Centerfold seminar.
Yes. We were reflecting earlier how many times I've been, and over the years, the friendships that have developed, not just with you, but with other attendees. It's been terrific. Great experience. I wouldn't have met Paul. I wouldn't have met Tim. I wouldn't be where I'm at if it wasn't for STC.
Well, that's great to hear. You know,
Oh,
it is a
no
networking
doubt.
opportunity as well. It's not only about learning photography.
Right.
It is about learning, getting connections, and connecting the dots. Actually,
Yes.
that's very important. And getting published, like you have been getting published quite a bit.
Yeah, 15. Well, actually, South Africa put out another alternate, unbeknownst to me, that I found out there. So it's 16
16 Playboys
covers. 6 centerfolds.
In what time are we talking about right now? It's within
about 2.5 years.
2.5 years.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's a record, man.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
It's been an amazing ride. It really has.
That's good.
Yeah.
Wow. Where is
Yeah.
it going to end? Where's it going to go from here?
That's a
Boy,
good question.
that's a good question. You know, I was talking to a friend of mine, Tommy O, and I just had to take a little bit of break. He says, "You're mending your nets. It's just like you can't fish all the time, so sometimes you got to go to shore and mend the nets and then go back out again." I'm getting ready to go back out again.
How about finding some bigger nets and bigger fish?
I agree with you.
That's the way
I
to go.
do have my sights on a bigger net and a bigger fish. No question about it.
So let's say you've done all these Playboy covers and beautiful Playmate pictorials. So what is the next step if you have to really think quickly without thinking too much?
Fashion.
Fashion, okay.
And art.
And art.
Yes.
Art comes in many forms.
Well, you know, the figures. I love shooting women. I can't get away from that. That's just the way I'm tuned in. I love that.
Women as an art, or
Yes,
you
I see their body as a form of art. I see the sculpture of their form, of their shape, the way they look. You know, to me that is art. That to me takes my breath away. I love beautiful sunsets, but a beautiful woman looking at you. Oh,
How about beautiful woman in the sunset?
Oh, of course, of course. I mean, you combine the two, you got magic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what's up with the Paul over here? Paul, I heard a lot of good things about you, that you actually been doing some serious photography in the past that I didn't know about it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, yeah. He's very quiet about
he
it.
I'm
is.
very quiet underneath the sheets, the blankets, very soft. Yes.
So
Yes.
why don't we ask Paul about questions about that? Because I
Oh,
think
no,
that's very
no,
important.
no.
You know.
Well, that is important.
Yes, absolutely.
That is important.
There's a little pressure going
but
on here.
hey, I'm the old guy here. Let's talk about the young duds.
He's an old guy. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah, the government now says I'm official.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
How does it
He
feel?
got his card.
I got my card in the mail.
Wait, damn! I don't get free movie tickets yet. So
No.
So
Guess what? I do.
oh, well,
The benefit is amazing. Let me tell you, when you cross that threshold, the world is at your feet.
I probably will be still paying for those movie tickets even afterwards
Yeah.
because I don't want to admit it to myself that I'm getting older.
I know. Neither do I.
Yeah, I
Neither
know.
do I.
It depends of the movie.
Well, yeah, that's true. You don't want to pay for the good ones.
So
Right.
what do you see for your future with Shoot The Centerfold and things on the horizon that you can talk about? I know you got many things that you can't.
Yeah, you're probably cooking.
That's just our cat right
the
now.
stove has got some things on the back
That's
of
right.
burner.
Yes,
Well,
yes.
that's a very interesting question because I asked that myself as well. Like, okay, so where are we going to take it? We get a lot of offers of all kinds of events, venues, and different directions. People offer even investments and all kinds of stuff that I keep turning them down because I want to make sure that the path that's been taken, that it's the correct path as well, and so we have fun doing this.
Yes.
Because when the pressure grows so big and you have liabilities,
It's not so fun.
It's not fun anymore. This started the whole thing that we create a place that everyone comes up with wisdom and shares them with everybody, and has fun at the same time and learn photography. But it has gotten a little more serious than that. It's all about business of photography as well. And where's it going to go from here? Well, you know, as you've seen, it goes to the magazines and publishing and all that good stuff. But where do we see ourselves? Let's say 5 years from now. It's still an interesting question. We'll see. I mean, that's something that time will only tell.
Right. So take us back. Take us back in the Wayback Machine to when you picked up your first camera.
Oh man!
Oh, come on. Let's hear that story.
Yeah,
But you were a model before that, right?
Oh, that's right, he was.
Oh, that's-
my God.
That's the way
We're
back
talking
machine.
serious
Well,
beefcake
you know,
here.
Hey, buddy, I like them shoulders.
stop that thing. So that was interesting. My first camera, it was a Nikon. I got it from a pawn shop. I remember it was a Nikon, and I thought it was a really great deal. And they sold me this lens. It was a freaking. It was a long. It was like it was a rip-off, first of all. And I thought it was a really great lens because I thought that the bigger and the longer the lens, that this is going to do it, you know?
Of course.
The bigger the longer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, baby.
And it wasn't a Nikon lens, it was some aftermarket
Right.
piece of garbage.
Probably
but I
a
was so
Vivitar.
excited, it didn't make any difference, it didn't matter. I just had a vision that I need to go home right now, get my girlfriend naked. And that's exactly what I did. And she was terrified when I asked her, hey, take your clothes off. And she's like, whoa, what's happening here? I said, I got a camera. And she was like, well, that doesn't mean I take my clothes off. I said, yes, absolutely. And I somehow convinced her to take her clothes, and I had 2 or 3 rolls of film, and I just shot her, and I was like, wow, what a satisfaction. It wasn't a sex thing, it was a beautiful thing.
Yes.
Never saw it so that this is a satisfaction, sexual satisfaction or anything like that. I was a young man, I just saw that there's some beauty that has to be captured. I was already very intrigued about that since I saw my dad's Playboy collection and all that stuff. I saw the beauty and artistic side to that, so it was really good. I rushed then the film to a lab. I'm so excited to get the results. I waited hours to go by.
I know that one.
I went to the lab and I got the film. Of course, they were all dark. Everything was black. There's nothing came out of it.
Oh, my God.
That was my first photo shoot. And I was so disappointed. I was like, oh my God, my ego was so bruised.
It is. Isn't it? Talk about
Yeah, because it was very clear. I didn't know anything about photography. I just had a vision, but then I figured out, there's some buttons in the camera and values that we had to put in, and
Right.
all these exposure things, and well, that was all Hebrew to me. I didn't understand any of it.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but then, I picked up through my mistakes, and started learning little by little, and I found some new girlfriends to try the camera on.
Yes.
So and those were much more successful.
Fantastic. So what made that transition? You said, "Oh, I can do this," and then I'm going to send this to Playboy.
Oh yeah, that was.
Oh my God.
I think I know a little bit of the story, but
Yeah.
okay.
For the record, we want to have it on the record.
A lot of friends, when I said, "Listen, this is some cool stuff that you're doing. You should shoot for Playboy," and a lot of friends said, "Oh, you'll never make it. Forget about it," So I decided myself, like, man, I'm gonna give a shot at this stuff, So I decided to call Playboy. I didn't know how to go by it, so I decided to call Playboy, and I called the main interface, and a lady answers, "Playboy Enterprises." And I explained who I was, and I said, "I want to talk to someone who's in charge of your photography. Can I get an editor on the phone?" And editor who never picks up the phone because he goes to their secretaries happens to pick up the phone. And I told my story, who I was back then, and I said, "Listen," I explained to them, "I love the pictorials you guys do. You got some really good taste, but you got something missing." And the editor was just quiet and says, "Well, you got some balls, my friend. We've been doing this for a long, long time, but now that you got such a ballsy attitude, I'll tell you what, I'll cut you a deal. You shoot 2 girlfriends of yours on spec, you send me the film, and I'll let you know how much you suck."
Oh my God.
That's pretty direct.
Yeah, it was.
Yes, it was. And I was like, man, I have made it. That alone gave me so much ammunition that I was like, whoa. I'm going to show this editor what I'm all made of.
That was the red cape, wasn't it?
Yes, it was, absolutely. And I shot a couple of girlfriends of mine. I shot a lot of film. I might have shot like 50 rolls or something like that, something ridiculous. I want to make sure that I got the film, got the shot.
Covered every possible way.
Yes, I sent the film. 2 weeks went by, I heard nothing. I was like, oh man, I screwed up somewhere. Maybe he's not ever going to call me. And I kind of start forgetting and living with an idea that my Playboy career had gone down the tubes.
It's come and gone.
That ship has sailed away from me. But in the 3rd week, I get a call. And the editor says, "Hey, how you doing, this and that? I've been looking at your film. So how much you want for it?" I was like, "You mean like selling them?" "Yeah, how much you want for them?" Really straight like that. And I was calculating quickly, like how many rolls of film and this. I was like, $1,100. I was thinking like this, and maybe a couple $100 for me. He just said straight up $3,800. And I was like,
"Oh my God.
Yeah, that's about right. We can do that."
Yes.
I didn't expect even half of that. So and everything started from there. I ate all
So
kinds
he
of.
never said the word "suck" to you twice.
No, but there were incidents that he did not understand my vision. Like sometimes
that's possible. But
Yeah,
that's,
exactly. Yeah, but that's how everything started. And it took about 4 years. After that, I keep shooting on all kinds of stuff in spec, and then one day I got a call, and they said, "Okay, from here on, you're gonna come and you're gonna start shooting right now, and we're gonna start paying you bills. How about that? You just start shooting and doing cool stuff and traveling, and send us the bills, and we pay the bills."
Yeah.
And I said, "Well, we talked about it, and I wanted to get a really crisp of it, how much I can spend on this and that." I never got the threshold on that. I got, just spend your money as it was yours. And I always did that way, and that was very good because editors watch the budgets that's been signed for them. So you keep it with everything pretty much in budget and make sure that everybody's happy. So that's how everything started. I found something that I love, and the love is still in the air.
Yeah.
But it takes that courage. That takes the courage for that first call. That I believe in myself enough. True.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's belief in yourself.
Yes.
You no matter what you do, you have to do that, and it's very important to remember that nothing happens unless you got some kind of a spark behind you, and go and do it. I've been called a lot of times that I feel I'm too confident and all that stuff, but I believe it's only worked towards my future and benefited me instead, because I don't want to be the frontliner. but I like to believe on my vision, and if you don't express that, you're going backwards.
Right.
I wasn't born to be in the back seat of the car. I was in the front seat always.
Yeah.
My brother, on the other hand, well, let's not talk about that.
Got it.
I wasn't even going to bring it up,
no,
but now that you
yeah.
ask.
Yeah, right.
Well, you had a recording studio. How did that fit into this?
Oh man, at young age, when I was in Europe, I went through a musical conservatory, and
For your education.
yeah, it's exciting. There's this piano and all that stuff, and I learned how to play piano and keyboards and all that jazz. And I ended up in the United States, and a very famous producer from Casey and Sunshine Band got introduced to me at some point, and we hit it off. And I was into playing stuff, and he took me to the studios, introduced me to all kinds of people. And next thing I realized, I bought a couple keyboards here and there. Next thing I realized, I have $1 million worth of equipment and a recording studio. I'm like, okay. Well, this producer ended up working for me. And we ended up recording all kinds of cool songs and stuff and cuts for record projects. And we opened a couple other studios as well. And he wasn't never the business side of it. So he was a really good talent, because he actually wrote all the Casey and Sunshine Band, co-wrote Casey and Sunshine Band.
Oh, is that right?
hits.
Wow.
Yes.
What was his name?
Richard Finch. His career didn't bloom musically very well after the band actually broke down, but he was always in the scenes as a producer, which was a great thing. And I thought that was a really good opportunity for me as well, since I was always into the music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So was photography going on at the same time?
Oh, absolutely. Photography's been going always. That never died. But music it's fun as well, and
So was it the Playboy introduction that tripped the trigger for you to make the switch
from what?
from music? I mean, you could have been in the music industry.
Yeah,
a
let's-
recording
That's what it
artist.
sounds like.
Well,
Holy cow.
I think the biggest trigger was Steve Jobs, when he decided, let's do an iTunes, I'll put the music online. And so now you don't get these record projects anymore like you used to. You know, the competition became too hard, and the music industry changed, and the Playboy came at the same time, right there. So what's there to think about it? Let me think about this again. A recording studio with a bunch of dicks smoking weed and old ladies and getting paid and traveling the world. Let me think about that. Yeah, there was a switch somewhere.
Took
Okay.
about 2 seconds. If
Let me think about that. Yeah.
Well,
Took a breath. Oh yeah, beautiful ladies,
let's
exotic
see.
locations.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
I mean, man,
Yeah.
listen, it's very interesting for I like to believe back then for a young man.
Yeah.
Educational.
Of course.
Yeah, and I felt very healthy.
Yeah. And how long were you with Playboy then?
Oh man, it's about 15 years.
15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
now, did you ever move to LA?
Yeah, actually, Gary Cole, who's bouncing around here somewhere in the studio right
Yeah,
now.
we had him on an earlier show.
Yeah, he says, you know what? We had an accident in Studio West, and Steve Vader got caught up on a gate, and the gate kind of crossed him, and he's in coma. So here's
Oh
the
my God.
the next thing. You're gonna move to LA, my friend, because you're next on the line to become the photographer in Studio West. I said, oh, okay, cool. So appears that Steve Vader did not die, and he woke up from the coma and all that stuff, but they still moved to me LA, and said to Steve and all these photographers that were ready that, well, you know what, you guys are a little bit older generation, we need somebody else, and just in case if some of you gonna get caught up on the gate again,
Yes.
we can't survive with the one photographer, so Jarmo's gonna come and support you guys.
Wow.
Well, it was a kind of an interesting experience, and I learned a lot. I learned a good part on ugly and sexy. You know?
Yeah, I'm sure you did.
Yeah, you just don't go to the other photographer's turf that been there for 30 years
Right.
without getting a couple bruises on yourself.
Well, yeah. Were you trying to peek in on the sets?
Oh,
Figure out their
absolutely.
life? Oh,
you know me.
God.
And
Yeah.
they were totally against it. Oh man, there's a story I would love to tell, but I don't think it's a good one. It's gonna come and hunt me down.
Oh, really?
Yeah, there's a lot
I
of.
heard about moving the lights for
Oh,
you.
that's nothing. Let's
Oh,
put
is
it
that
this
right?
way. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
One of the photographers was there told that you need to teach Jarmo, right? I'm not going to tell you who it is.
Okay, good.
And he was like, okay, whatever. Okay, it's kind of a Hef and a Gary Cole, who was the director of photographer's wish, and he was like, no way, I'm not going to teach this guy. I'm going to call Gary Cole and I'm going to ask for $70,000 raise. so I'm going to teach him. If this is extra,
my
work, this is
God.
not part of my contract. So I want $70,000. And guess what? He got it.
Oh my God.
He never teaches me a damn thing.
Oh my God.
He
got the raise and said, "The hell with you."
He sabotaged everything instead. But he
Oh
got the
my
raise.
God.
He never told me, but he told me then years and years later. I said, "You want to
my
hear something
God.
cool?"
Because of you, I got a raise.
Because of
and
you.
Yeah. You know, he says, it wasn't such a bad thing that you came to the picture. I said, "What do you mean?" "Dude, I got 70 G more in a year because of you." I said, "What are you talking about?" And then he told me, I was laughing, and he was telling me, "You know what? I called Playboy and asked for a raise because I was supposed to kind of mentor you."
Oh my God.
And I said, "You bastard, you never teach me anything." but it was then funny actually.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it doesn't matter who it was. But there's a lot of interesting stories happen, and the bottom line is that photography has to be a lot of fun as well, even if it becomes a job.
Yeah.
It's like here in the Shoot The Centerfold today, we have all kinds of people. We're smiling. We're like
Yes.
all one family here. And
Absolutely,
That's all that matters.
Yes. Yes. Where do you find sources of inspiration? I mean, you inspire me every time I see one of your images. I go, damn! I gotta reach up that top ring.
You know,
but where do you find these? I mean, does it just come to you in a dream? Do you fall down the stairs
sometimes
and go, aha?
Sometimes I wake up in the middle of the night and I actually wake up and I have to put notes down.
Oh.
I don't know how does it come or this and that. I do a lot of research all the time as well. I love
That's where.
I love
Yeah.
cinematic things and scenes, and they translate into the photography, and that's a really kickoff right there. I don't know how they come. They just come, and I have to go and do them, as crazy
Right.
as they sometimes are. But it also is giving me an edge and a little bit of recognition because they are so different.
Right.
And not everything works out perfectly sometimes, but that's why we keep continuing doing this and making sure that we reach and do something different and express our visions.
Right.
Because otherwise you'll be just doing photography and you don't get satisfaction. I don't get a satisfaction. I just don't want to do a regular photography. I want to do something a little bit different that has an edge and be able to say, "Oh, damn, look, we did that thing." Remember?
Right.
Imagine you work in a project for 2 weeks or 30 days and then you go and execute, and the climax that comes out of it, you see actually everything coming alive, and you go,
Yes.
"Wow, look at
Yes.
this! This is the shit," Yeah, and that's it's just a driving force. Of course, ladies have something to do with it because they're
Right.
part of it.
Yeah.
Shooting beautiful people, and it doesn't have to be even a beautiful lady. It can be portraits of people, men and stuff, going to Asia, going to Africa or somewhere, and finding a wrinkled old lady and just wasting a couple hours on her and shooting some beautiful pictures. You get so much charismatic stories just by looking at the
Right.
picture. It becomes a one-frame picture story,
Right.
something like that.
Now, do you like to, when you're traveling like that, do you like to spend time away with yourself or with you and Mary doing your thing? I mean, do you take time for yourself on a trip like, let's say, Namibia you went?
I like disappearing and going there with the camera and finding new things and discovering new things and convincing Mary, "Hey, this is a cool thing to do."
we heard about that
experience.
A week and a half, usually a week and a half after arrival, I hear the first time, "I want to go home. I miss my cats." I'm like, "Okay, honey, we got bigger cats in Africa. Let's check it out."
Yeah.
I convince her, "Let's stay another weekend, a couple extra weeks." It's always, she understands exactly, and she goes along with it because she likes it too. But she realizes that it is not as easy as in seeing things happening in the movies and TV. You gotta travel in the places, and you're gonna stay there, and you don't have your Starbucks, and you don't have your clean sheets sometimes. And so it's an experience. But that's how you experience life, and I want to capture that life.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cool.
Very cool. Very cool.
All right.
So, gosh, why did my brain just went south on me all of a sudden? Now, the image that you shot with the P51.
Yeah. What about? You leaving? Yes. We gotta sign up some signature things still, unless you're in a hurry to roll out.
Yeah, I gotta teach kids in the morning. I didn't mean to rush.
Oh,
keep
no,
in,
that's
keep
right.
in touch,
Okay.
and we talk about things that we talked earlier.
Yes,
Okay.
thank you very much. Next
Thank
year,
you.
I'm in again.
Thank you.
The P51.
Yeah.
Tell us about that.
Oh man. What's there to talk about?
I mean, you
look.
must have heard that airplane coming down the taxiway going, "Oh, that's."
Oh, let me tell you,
my
when that
God.
landed, I was looking, or it's landed, and it got closer in a taxi.
yes.
That was a pure, well, like, can I say sex?
Yes,
Yeah,
of course.
It was amazing, continuing orgasm type of a
Yes.
thing, and chain orgasm. That's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the right word for
Yeah,
it.
right.
I always adored that plane since I saw it the very first time in commercials, and Breitling watch company used that same plane as well. And I was dreaming, oh man, that's the plane I want to shoot.
Yeah.
And we were actually looking for DC-3 actually first. One of these old planes that could, smuggled cocaine to the United States and all that stuff. But then we realized now, man, there's better planes available there. And a friend of mine who's a pilot who was part of the project, I said, this is what you need to find. And he went after it, and guess what? He found it.
Where?
In Orlando.
Orlando.
Oh, that's
really
close.
Yeah,
that
so
was real close.
Yeah, the pilot actually flew the plane to the photo shoot to Miami, and it was special. It was special just to hear that sound of that plane.
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Yeah.
It's quite something.
Yeah.
So it's sad that it burned. Are they going to rebuild it?
Yeah, they're looking for a couple extra million to put the paint back on and all that good stuff. Yeah,
Right.
they were refueling. They were on their way. The pilot was on the way to Reno.
For an air show, wasn't
For an
it?
air show, exactly. Actually, no, air race. Because
race,
he raced, yeah. He was one of the top racers in the world.
Yeah. I remember when we. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
So anyway, and he was refueling somewhere in Texas. So he was taxiing, about to take off, and the plane was engulfed in flames on the back. But he didn't see that. There were people on the front like, stop,
Really?
you can't go anywhere. Because he
Wow.
would have probably, he almost took off. He would have been able to take off, but he would have crashed that plane. And probably died because you don't have parachute on that thing.
Yes.
Yeah, that's an older one.
Yeah, exactly.
That thing comes
Right.
down like a rock because it has a shortened wingspan and everything because it's for racing.
maneuverability.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That was a twin
Twin prop.
prop, right?
Yeah, it has
They
a
spin
It went
one
opposite directions.
opposite directions.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
yeah.
the only one in the world that has that. In
Really?
the B-51. Yeah.
Oh wow!
So it's a really rare bird.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Only a couple million for a paint job's pretty
Yeah.
cheap.
Yeah.
Well, I'm
yeah.
sure they got a little
little
curled nail and
nail.
fingernails and
Yeah,
all that thing going in
exactly.
on that one.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, those planes are not cheap
Oh no.
because everything about that plane is custom pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah.
Even the engine is not the original engine.
No, that's a whole new
The
engine.
engine that was on that plane came actually from a racing boat.
A racing boat?
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
Yeah, when they told me, I was like, whoa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Oh my
From a
God.
boat.
Yeah, it came from a boat.
That's
From a
not
boat
have
to the
thought.
yeah,
sky.
to the sky.
Okay.
That's amazing.
Land, sea, and air.
Yeah.
There you go, right there. Yeah.
So
So, what are you doing tomorrow now? I believe there's a third day. Is that
yeah,
right?
there's a third seminar day, which it's all about business of photography. It's a very big part of the photography who wants to succeed because at some point you're going to start checking out how do I make a living with this thing? How do I make a living with my camera? It's fun to shoot and fun to shoot beautiful ladies, but if you want to make a living, there's a lot of things that you have to pay attention to it, and that's very important. And that's what what tomorrow is going to be all about. It's all about publishing, how to get to the publishing, what does it matter, legal issues, this and that, and how to get your show on the road.
Right.
And you know yourself.
Oh.
I mean, you have climbed up very far and stuff, but a few extra dollars in your pocket won't hurt, right?
No, of course. I mean, that's my dream is to be able to transition, get out of the dental chair, and
Yeah.
just
No, don't get
be
out
a-
because I'm planning to come for consulting. I need a grill.
You need a
I
grill.
need a grill. I need a grill.
Well, you better hurry up because I'm working on getting out.
Don't come to our seminar tomorrow morning.
No,
Because
no.
in next 2 weeks you're gonna probably quit your dentistry.
Okay.
Wait.
Your mouth to God's ears, as they say.
Right, exactly,
Yeah. So, hey, I heard a bunch of beeps. Oh, looks like
Okay,
one of
yeah.
our cameras.
Looks like yeah.
So,
Then we-
Jarmo, gosh, thank you for spending the time here.
Thank you
and
very
thank
much
you
for
for
having me.
Very
having
much
us
so.
here at STC. I
Feelings
mean,
are mutual.
I
Thank
tell
you very much.
If it wasn't for you putting on that event, I remember when I first saw the event online,
Yes.
Fort Lauderdale. I mean, it took me all of 30 seconds to sign up.
30 seconds.
Yes,
Man.
I mean, when I saw it, I go, I've got to be there.
You're not the fastest man on the block then. there's been 10-second ones.
There's been 10 second ones. Well, okay, good. That makes me feel better.
Hey,
Thank you.
all right,
Hey,
I'm just joking.
Yeah.
Yeah, 30 seconds is pretty good.
No, I mean, it was immediate. I knew I had to be a part of that.
Yeah.
And the benefit has been our friendship. And
Well, that is
amazing.
I always tell photographers, no matter what it is, friendship comes always first. Of course, there's something behind this why we're doing this, but let's all be one family. Let's understand each other and let's support each other's needs and wisdom.
Yes.
That's what Shoot The Centerfold is all about.
Right.
And thank you very much for being here today and doing this podcast. I can't wait till I can download and just listen over and
Oh,
over
I'm
again. How
telling
about
you,
that?
we have weeks.
We have weeks.
of material.
Weeks of man.
I mean, we figured
It's been very good.
Yeah, it's
Been
Nice.
very good.
yeah.
Excellent.
We've had wonderful guests, and everyone has been very supportive. And hey, what's going on? And taking pictures. It's
That's
just
cool.
been great.
That's
yeah, it's
cool.
very cool.
All right. So,
Yeah.
guys, thanks. And
you.
see you later.
See you
Okay.
later.
Thank
All
you,
right.
Jarmo.
Thanks for listening to this episode of Camera Stew with guest Jarmo.
If you enjoyed this podcast, please subscribe on iTunes and on YouTube. And don't forget to share it with your friends. This episode and others are also available directly on camerastew.com. If you would like to see some of our work, you can find links to each of our sites as well as the social networks we participate in, all listed on the bio page on camerastew.com. Rating and reviewing the show is, as always, a huge help. If you have suggestions for the show or have someone you would like us to talk with, please send an email to camerastew@gmail.com. From all of us at Camera Stew, thanks for listening.